Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Tommy, and today we're diving into something huge that's happening right now, pretty much under our noses. There's this massive wave of construction and investment getting ready to really kick off in 2026, and it's set to completely reshape the US economy. We're talking about this perfect storm of AI, energy, and some absolutely massive corporate deals, all coming together to create a building boom like we've never seen before. So, just to give you a sense of the scale here, let's just start with the big number. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars in new investment. And this isn't some slow, gradual thing. No, it's more like a tidal wave of cash just pouring into everything from advanced manufacturing and energy to the digital backbone of the country. It's a massive engine for growth, especially when other parts of the economy are, feeling a bit sluggish. This quote from an industry expert at Liberty Mutual just nails it. He says, just 3 or 4 years ago, billion-dollar projects were rare. Now we see multiple projects of that size every month. I mean, think about that. We've gone from these mega projects being a once-in-a-while thing to being the new normal, happening every single month. It just shows you how fast this is all accelerating. It's pretty wild. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to look at what's kicking all this off, the AI boom. Then, we'll get into the crazy amount of energy needed to power that revolution. After that, we'll see how America's basic infrastructure is getting a massive overhaul. We'll also dig into the money behind these huge deals. And finally, we'll put it all together and see what it means for the US come 2026. Let's get into it. All right, first up, the AI infrastructure boom. We're starting here for a good reason. This is the real catalyst, the thing that's putting this whole transformation into overdrive. It all comes down to the explosive, pretty much bottomless demand from AI. Yeah, it's so easy to think of AI as, this magical thing that just lives in the cloud, right? Something totally abstract. But the truth is, every single AI model, every time you ask it a question, every image it generates, all of that needs a huge, physical, real-world building to make it happen. We're talking about a massive network of data centers. They're basically the new factories of the digital world, and they're going up at a mind-blowing speed.
And this is where it gets really cool, because you see how everything is connected? We're not just talking about random projects popping up. Nope. What's happening is the creation of an entire American tech supply chain, right here, from scratch. So you got step one, the foundation, the silicon wafers coming from a new global wafers plant. Then, step two, those wafers get turned into the super advanced chips at TSMC's new factories. And finally, step three, those chips become the brains inside these giant data centers from companies like Meta and Amazon. It's the whole shebang, from start to finish.
And the price tags on these projects, they are just staggering. I mean, look at this. Amazon's dropping $15 billion in Indiana. Meta is putting $7.5 billion into a data center in Louisiana. But then you see TSMC, $165 billion for chip factories in Arizona. That's not just a big number, that's a move that literally brings critical chip manufacturing back to the US. And of course, you've got Global Wafers spending another $7.5 billion just to supply those factories. This isn't just spending money, it's a massive, strategic bet on building things in America again.
Okay, so we have all this incredible new digital infrastructure. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. All these data centers, all these chip plants, they are incredibly power hungry. They use a shocking amount of electricity. So the billion-dollar question becomes, how on earth do you power this revolution without just breaking the existing electrical grid?
Well, the answer is this really clever new model called distributed energy infrastructure. Basically, instead of just plugging these massive data centers into the same grid we all use, these tech giants are building their own dedicated power plants right next door. It's a game changer for them. It's cheaper, it's way more reliable, and it neatly sidesteps the problem of overloading the public grid. Pretty smart, right?
And this right here is a perfect snapshot of the massive energy shift that's happening everywhere. Take the Kingston Energy Complex. They're shutting down 9 old coal units. That's the past, right there. And what's taking their place? A whole new mix of natural gas, huge battery storage, and solar power. That's the future. It's all about creating a more diverse, more reliable power grid, and it's happening right now.
But then you've got some companies making even bigger, bolder moves. I'm talking about Meta. They're not just adding a little solar here and there, no. They're going all in on nuclear power to feed their AI. They're making deals with companies like TerraPower and Oklo to lock down a massive 6.6 gigawatts of nuclear energy. We're talking clean, reliable power that runs 24/7. This move is putting them way ahead of Amazon, Microsoft, and Google in the race for clean energy.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit.
because this whole thing isn't just about tech. The ripple effects from this AI and energy revolution are spreading out and forcing a complete rethink of America's core infrastructure. We're talking supply chains, transportation, the whole industrial base.
And this image really captures the new way of thinking. For, 30, 40 years, the name of the game was efficiency. Find the cheapest place on Earth to make something and ship it. But that playbook is getting tossed out the window. Now, the new buzzword is resilience. It's not about what's cheapest, it's about what's most reliable and secure. Can you count on it? That simple shift is the driving force behind this huge push to bring manufacturing back home.
And you can see this happening all across the country. The nation's arteries are literally being rebuilt. You've got over $21 billion for high-speed rail between Vegas and SoCal, $15 billion for a massive new LNG export terminal in Louisiana, almost $6 billion to upgrade a crucial Amtrak tunnel, another $5.5 billion for a new EV battery factory in Arizona. It's happening in transportation, energy, electric vehicles. All the critical systems are getting a 21st century upgrade.
All right, so let's follow the money. Where is all the cash for these monster projects coming from? I mean, this kind of scale requires insane amounts of capital and know-how. And the answer, in large part, is a massive wave of corporate mergers and acquisitions.
It's pretty simple, really. Companies are getting bigger so they can build bigger things. You can't just decide to build a $15 billion factory one day. You need a huge bank account, tons of expertise, and all your teams working in perfect sync. Merging with another company is often the quickest way to get all of that. They're teaming up, pulling their cash, and getting ready to take on these once-in-a-generation projects.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. I mean, look at the actual deals happening. In energy, you've got Constellation grabbing Calpine for over $16 billion. You have Blackstone picking up TXM Energy for more than $11 billion. They're creating absolute giants in power generation. And it's not just energy. Look at Creekrit buying Summit Materials. That's a huge $11.5 billion deal to consolidate the very materials needed for construction. These mega deals are creating the super companies that have the muscle to get this build-out done.
Okay, let's pull this all together. What does this all mean? How does this massive build-out give the U.S. a serious competitive edge on the world stage, especially as we head into 2026?
This chart from JP Morgan really tells the story. Just look at the price of electricity. The US is way cheaper than places like Germany and Japan. And in a world where the most important new industries, AI, advanced manufacturing, use a ton of power, cheap energy is like a giant magnet for investment. It's a huge piece of the puzzle, and a fundamental reason why all of this is happening in America right now.
So yeah, this whole mega project boom is reshaping America's economy for decades to come. It's a huge deal. But it leaves us with a big question, right? Is it all sustainable? I mean, we're talking about creating jobs, securing our supply chains, building the future, but can we actually pull it off? Is there enough skilled labor? Can the supply chains handle the demand? It's an amazing opportunity for sure, but there are some big challenges ahead.
Hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to see more explainers like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for the Fin Anatomy channel. We're always digging into the big forces that are shaping our economy, and I'd love to have you along for the ride.
And just a quick reminder before we go, everything we talked about today is just for informational and educational purposes. This isn't investment advice, okay? We're just trying to understand what's going on out there. You should always do your own research and make your own financial decisions. Thanks so much for watching.